Sorry about that, guys. I guess we were muted the entire time. So, welcome back to the Bink or Bust 100K Bankroll Challenge. Sitting at about 3,300 here on day 18. Jackson suited, fold. So, going pretty good overall. For those of you who didn't join us yesterday, I've been sick for the last 6 or 7 days, so I've barely played any poker. So it's pretty expected for our bankroll to be sitting about where it was. So hopefully we can get some hands in. We did play a pretty good session yesterday. We definitely will bet this sometimes. I think heads up, we're better off with this. Or three-way, we can just check. So yesterday was a wild session. You're up, down, up in place. EV was, decent enough in the end. Excuse me. The A6 suited will fold. 10-7 suited here, three ways. I don't mind calling sometimes. Gotta check raise this. King 3 just fold. So yesterday we were, up 100, down 300, back to being up, back to being down 330, back to being down 400, and then the last 1,000 hands we went from negative 400 and negative 200 in EV to plus 200 EV and break even. So yeah, all over the place yesterday. It's one of those days, I guess, but in the end we did turn it around. Felt pretty good towards the end of it. So we won't be playing too much about that, but yeah, we're a little bit all over. I think we played pretty well. A few spots where we could have maybe folded and didn't necessarily need to get it in. There were some wild hands. I think we lost with aces. Under the gun opened and we 3-bet aces from middle position. We ended up losing to 9-6 suited. And then it happened again. Same player, under the gun opened. We 3-bet with aces and we lost to flop and boat with 6-7 offsuit. So those are two sort of big crushing hands there. And then we lost queens versus pocket jacks. Ran it twice, lost them both to jack on the flop and then the case jack on the river for the second run out. So yeah, it didn't run great yesterday. As you can tell, we were down about 200 bucks. Which is only a couple buy-ins, but I think overall this month and through March, we've run pretty. Let's just check it out for I don't want 100 since the month starts, whatever. Just to kind of get a broader picture of it. Jack deuce, we're gonna fold. Yeah, I'm gonna should get the stream over here. And I am still sick, guys. Just trying to bear with me here. Apologize for any sniffling or coughing. Not just not really a whole lot we can do about it. Unfortunately. Yeah. The ace-7 offsuit, 3x open. I think I'll just call. I think we have a huge advantage over this player, and we're pretty deep stacked. So even though calling an ace-7 offsuit can just kind of get you into trouble, I don't really expect this guy to do too much to get us into trouble. So I think we'll have relatively easy decisions against him. As I say that, he starts potting it. So we do have to call here, though. All right, and I imagine he will check down here most times. It's too fair. Yeah. What do you do? Okay, full jack 8 offsuit. 3, 2, 5 off. 10, 5. Snapping and pretty much snapped in 3 bets. Seems a little bit laggy today. I'm actually going to turn this music down a bit. Seems a little heavy. Maybe that's a little bit better. Fold the 8-4. Okay. Make sure I mute the session this time. Okay, we'll fold Queen 6. So yeah, anyways, let's just check out the months here. A7 offset raise from the button. That's 100% raise. Okay, raise King 10 suited. Again, just keep that in mind though. You know, people just, they're pure bet size tiles. They barreled big there, yeah, 2 pair. It's not going to be a whole lot more to say about it usually than that. I think if we call here, I'd rather just 4-bet these days. It's a really small 3-bet, so maybe I will just call it 10 suited here. It just blasts full pot. This time bank thing is going to be the definite. Oh yeah, perfect. Okay, we'll just go ahead and call a whole bunch and then fold a whole bunch. Good lord. So $57, we've played 9,000 hands. We are up 1,100. EV is at 14. So obviously cruising along here at about 12 BBs per 100. Could be better. EV wise, or into the almost, but yeah, well, 91 to 1445, a little over 15 BBs per 100 so far. I will just defend the 10-4 here. So overall, pretty happy with that. Obviously, it's a good result. A few buy-ins below expected value, but overall, pretty happy with how we're playing. Okay, so goes for the check raise. Not sure I really believe him. I'm gonna call 1. And I guess being the big blind, we can kind of float in here. Guess we fold before. A little bit suspect. We don't know much about this guy though, so if we know he's kind of random, I'll probably call down the road. But for right now, just let that go. Same with here. We need hands, right? They're all fish, so we just need some hands. That's it. That's all we're really looking for. Bluff, you know. Bluff with small bets. Win a bunch of pots. It's my delay. Oh yeah, the delay's on. I was gonna say, that doesn't seem like my delay's on. I was just talking about this. I guess it's on. Check back the 9s. Snap that. We're of course calling. Maybe we should have just bet flop and then checks again. I guess we just check down the pocket 9. Okay. Fold the 6 deuce. Where do we limp here? Yeah. So we're just going to continuation bet on the 3. King's a good card for us. We will double barrel it. Okay, he folds. Yeah, it looks like the proper delay's on. Must have had that graph up a little bit longer than I thought. Fold the 6-4, fold the 4-3 suited, fold the queen jack. We should definitely open some more tables. We're not rolled to open in a 100 tables yet. So, try to keep our discipline up. Okay, fold the A7. And I guess with all that said, we'll just open up today now. Where we're sitting about even. Up on one NL50 table, or on a 100 table, down on the other one. The tiebreaker goes to the NL50 table, and we're up $12. So we are. Oh, we started really good. Fold the 10-9. Right, so the 8-6 suited. Queen Jack, we're just gonna fold it. Yeah, man. This cold is killer. And again, we're just gonna c-bet here. Fold the 8 deuce. Excuse me. Should have a pretty good leaderboard run today, I think. Or sorry, yesterday. At like 2,200 points. It's usually good for like 40-50 bucks in leaderboard, so that's always a nice bonus that's not included in that poker graph tracking. Okay, fold the ace-3. Oh man. Fold queen-3. Tranquilo. I'm hoping we win a bad beat jackpot on stream. Did it once before. We were on the smaller receiving end of it, I think. We won about 1,700. So hopefully we can do that again. Bink a big one. I'll happily hold out to like NL 200 and win 15k or 30k at NL 500 or something. We've had a couple good chances. We had pocket jacks yesterday. The board came out ace-ace and a river ace, and it went bet call. But unfortunately, the river was just check folded. Okay, raise the 10-9 off. He'll c-bet this board for sure. In 3-bet, so he doesn't have ace-king or king-queen. Alright, ace is good. We're going to keep betting that. Lots of those. Calls again. The flushes miss. 4 peels off. Makes it less likely he has pocket 4s. We're just going to try to fold out. That's kind of silly to go that big. Looks a little bluffy. And we're really just trying to fold out like flushes and diamonds. And really bad kings. I don't think we need to overbet to do that. It did work. I think most of his folding ranges are misdraws, so we probably don't need to go that big. I don't think he folds. I guess it depends. If he folds a king when we go that big, and he doesn't if we go like 3/4 pot, then we should always go that big because everything else folds no matter what. So I guess it depends what we think. I do think if he has a king, we'd have to go pretty big to get him to fold it. But he doesn't have very good kings. I have all the aces, so I think I'm torn on the bet side and for the river there. Should actually look into that because I'm not sure theoretically what's best. Like if we should be sizing our bet to fold out the majority of range, or sizing our bet to fold out what would be, you know, his best folding hand, and size around that, because then everything below that's obviously going to fold, versus betting smaller and targeting his shitty portions of his range. But then you get called by some of the slightly better stuff. I don't know. You're going to get, you know, you're betting smaller, still getting a bunch of folds. It's probably pretty close either way. on what strategy you take. We generally like to overbet and go for big value on the river with our strong hands, so I think probably betting bigger with our bluffs makes most sense, because it is going to fold out the most of his range, and it's going to balance out our value betting more that way. Okay, king queen we raise. Right, we're gonna value bet here, so we don't get 3-bet, so nobody has jacks or queens. We are gonna 3-bet the tens. Nobody has jacks or queens. Could have like 6, 7, 7, 8. Could have queen 10. Could have queen jack sometimes. He's queen 3-bet, so unless he has queen jack or 6, 7, best hand here. Okay, so we 3-bet. He calls. There's an ace on the flop. If we do bet here, we always bet big or half pot in between. So we'll go 60% here. And no action. Unfortunately, no ace in his hand. Obviously, in a 3-bet pot, I don't really care if the flush cards come off with a set. We'll just go and bet that shove. He's gonna have a lot more in his range that might call down. Get that much committed, so we'll just go for it. Year. So he's terrible. Okay, we'll just go for a small continuation bet here. Fold. Okay, and we'll go small again. 10, 10, 9. We'll go half pot for a c-bet. We have a jack, we have a king or a queen. Usually just take it down on the flop though. Okay, and he goes for the check raise. I like to go small. Sometimes like bet small on flop, bet small on turn, because it's overfolded by fish. And they'll just turn their hand face up because they want value. So if he has like a flush or a deuce or pocket sixes or pocket threes here, 4, 5, he's just gonna check raise. And all of his like shitty sixes or pocket sevens or like ace highs are gonna call and then fold to the river, because their strong hands would raise turn, or they would donk lead river. So it just makes our river decisions pretty easy between folding to his lead or just blasting when they check to us again, because they won't check again very often. It's almost never that they're going to check again, so they're just too scared to miss value. So usually if they do that third check, you just blast them and you end up taking the whole thing down. Okay, we're going to 3-bet the 6, 5 suited. Alright, you see bet, flop comes do 6, 6. I think we'll just check here. This guy just bottoms it. It's superstation, just calling all kinds of shit. So we really just need to hit a hand and then either let him spew or kind of merge it. Okay, fold the 8, 7. Ace deuce suited. We're gonna 3-bet here over top of the ISO. And if he 4-bets, we just fold. Ace jack suited is a pretty hand. So let me know, guys, in the comments how the music level's doing. Let me know how your bankroll challenges are going. Any questions about poker, let me know. All that good stuff. Make sure you hit that like button if you're watching the stream. It really does help the channel out, and I do greatly appreciate it. Ronnie the River Rat playing a shitball ton of hands. Ace jack suited is just not one we're gonna battle with 50 bigs though. We're just committed to if we call it, we're just super committed to a lot of boards. Okay, fold the 8, 7. try to work on keeping this updated as much as we can. Jack 7 suited. I guess we just fold here. Queen deuce, you fold. So I am a bit worried as we move up stakes that we're not going to be able to find much action. Actually, I think we're probably going to have to do some like extreme heads-up studying because there are generally so few tables that are running. The king 4, we're just folding. We are going to 3-bet 7s here. Fold jack 8. Fold queen 6. King queen suited. We're going to squeeze. Can't not squeeze these hands. Okay, so we block 7-9. We block 6-7. Those are draws and calls there. We do call the small 4-bet with king queen suited. I think we're just going to check the 7s here and call if he bets turn. So that's a relatively large continuation, so we are just going to fold there. There's absolutely no equity in that flop. So he checks again to us. I think we'll go for half pot value here. And then we'll decide if we want to bluff shove river or just check it down. Might be better off just checking here. I don't think he double checks 5s. I don't think he double checks 8s. Definitely doesn't double check 10s. Could have some like diamonds in his hand. Could have ace high to call that turn bet with. So he also could lose to like 8x, but I think we'll just check the 7s down here. It's not a good call by him really. I think you just fold king jack. I have too many ace x in my hands. We will defend the 8s here. Just because we knew we were going to flop a set. Okay, 7-5 suited, we're going to bump that up. Okay, we'll just go half pot here. Don't need to go much bigger than that to get stacks in by the river. Okay, bet and call. You don't need to go very good here. 25 is a little big. I think we'll just go 16. Do a nice under pop shove for the river this way. We hope we get a call. And we hope for a nice clean river card. Or a shove right now. It's like ace jack people. That's a nice clean river card. Lose to queen 10. Not sure how often they have queen 10 though, so probably not very. Queen 10 clubs we lose to, and we lose to 10-7. It's not fun when he leads out though. Probably losing to queen 10 to somebody somehow. Bit stationy to have queen 10 unless it's queen 10 clubs. So, it's fucking annoying. What did that guy have? Ace 9, wow. 10-7, get out of here. Okay, we called 5s. Okay, raise the 7s. No action, unfortunately. Hoping he has an ace 8. Sorry, an 8 there, obviously. I don't think we can ever fold the 8s, obviously. Something happened there. I don't know if it was his fucking emoji that he sent up that blocked his hand. Okay. Okay, fold queen 8. Fed the 10-9 off. 49-5. That would have been a nice pot to win. Unfortunately, they did just get there, but that's fine. Tons of outs. What are you going to do? Basically flip into the river for a brick. Okay, Jack 10 suited, raise. Fold the King Deuce suited. Fold the Jack Deuce. Raise the King Deuce. Oh man, this being sick sucks. Even just talking on stream is exhausting. Let's just run through that hand again here. Double ball 3-bet poker call, flop a set. Half pot, call, bet again, call. Donk bet shove on the 9. I don't know, maybe we just fold the 8s there. I'm not sure. Okay. Oh, that was a misclick. Meant to bet there. But that's fine. Just gonna min click it back, see what he does. Raise the queen 4 suited, fold the ace 9, fold the 8 deuce. Value 10. Alright. This board with the ace, I'm just gonna see bet relatively large. Does call. King's a great card for us. We're gonna double barrel that. We have all the ace king, all the aces, all the kings. Spades get in there. Just gonna give up. Okay, with 3-bet, it's a good flop for us. We're just gonna check though. And we're gonna check call. It's a good turn card. Go for the check shove, I think. Ace queen. It's I did before that. Yeah. People are crazy. Bet here, bet here. Make sure I didn't click something there. I did not. So what are we dodging here? Okay, value bet the queen. Okay, we take it down with the ace deuce. Raise the king queen. Okay, we get our 50 bones back over here. Okay. We open the king queen, get called. 7-3 deuce flop. Just check it out of position. Okay, we check the ace queen. Checks behind. He bets a 7. He's gonna bet 8s plus. My hand actually looks more like pocket 6s or something like that. And I like that. We'll just go like 10. Looks fluffy. Overbet doesn't get called enough, I don't think. Okay, we're gonna value bet the queen on the river. After it's checked around, I think Carpenter definitely bets a 5 on the turn. And we're gonna value bet the 9 as well. Okay, we're gonna raise the king queen. Fold the 7-5. And we'll just check here. Yeah, we'll just check down the king queen. You beat some hands like king jack and stuff. King six. Just fold. Just click the fold button. You know. Better check on some L 100 tables. Nothing there. Okay. See how the session goes. Okay, we're swung down. Yeah, swung up. Swing around the rosy. Okay, we'll fold the 9 deuce. We are going to bump up the 6s. Okay, we're going to fold 10-9. So, after having a session with my poker coach, we've discovered that I give way too many people way too much credit. And moving forward, we're going to assume that everybody sucks. There are a few that we already know are pretty good. We're going to stick to that theory, but generally speaking, as we move up in stakes, we're going to assume that everybody is terrible, and that we're better than them. And we're going to keep that attitude going into it, and study, and just keep getting better. And the reason for that is that I find I give people a little bit too much credit in too many spots, and people are just not thinking on that level. What are we dodging? Just a queen. Oh my god. Just stop dodging. Stop. Oh. Gonna take a quick break. I'll be right back. All right, everybody, we're back. I think the volume is going to be the hardest part of this challenge, actually. Getting to 60-something thousand hands a month for me sometimes seems easy, sometimes not so bad. It's not so bad when there's enough tables running in the morning, but when there's not enough tables running, I don't know. Which is, I don't know. We're just gonna really have to rework our schedule. You know, 5-6 tables is fine, but the issue is we have to have. We need the NL 100 tables up and running in order to keep running up. I think we'll just take a free flop almost with 5-4 suited. They're not going to have a 7 very often. Could have a king. Definitely going to check raise this hand some portion of the time. But to a full pot bet, I'm not going to. Especially with a full pot bet call. Doesn't seem like he has a king that often though. Like that's a really big bet. You're only going to get called by a 7. So it does feel maybe a little bit bluffy. I guess we'll just call here. We'll keep this mega whale in, the Yurger. Yeah, that makes total sense that he does not have a king. Careful, Jack 7. Absolutely nothing for us on this board. We did consider squeezing, but given Sheen's stack size, I just kind of backed away from it. And with a couple fish, we don't want to fold this hand, so calling's fine in this particular case. You're going to do a lot of just check folding post flop, but I think being the opportunity to flop some wheels and draws and you know, if we have some equity, there's a good chance we can just win the hand. But when you flop completely stone dead, you just check fold. A Jack 5 and a King 7. Okay, raise Jack 9 suited. Excuse me. Okay, we're gonna value bet here. 3 ways. Lilash calls. I'm not gonna have too many overcards in their range. I think most of their range will be set up of worse 9s, flush draws, that kind of stuff. So we're gonna just bet again. And then we're gonna shove river for value. If it's not an 8, a 10, 8-10 jack, or a heart, probably just shove river for value. Okay, the queen 4, we're just along for the ride here. Yep. Right. We're 3-betting the ace king. Oh man. Got my sweet Batman mug here. Fold Jack 7. Right, it's a pretty good board. Ish. But with the ace of hearts, we're just gonna bet. And then we're gonna bet turn, and then we're gonna shove the river. Reason being, he's unlikely to have the hearts. That's really what it comes down to. Right? If you look at that board, a lot of his call range suited connectors is going to be stuff like ace 5 hearts, can't have that. 5-6 hearts, can't have that. 4-5 hearts, can't have that. 6-7 hearts, can't have that. 7-8 hearts, can't have that. You know, so you're down to like the Jack Queens, Jack 10s, the King Jacks, all those suited hands. Here with bottom pair, we're going to go bigger on this board. Just folds. We fold the King 3, we fold the King 7. Yeah, we'll do the fire up here. Keep this up to date for you guys. We're up to 60 so far. Fold 4 deuce, ace 4 fold, king 10 fold. The hands are good. Yeah, what we really need to do is try to at least put in 1,000 hands in the mornings, which is again not going to happen today. But I'm getting up a little bit later. Fold the 8-5. Okay, fold king 5. Fold 9-10. They're gonna 3-bet the jacks. Okay, it's a good board for us. We're just going big here. We're hoping he has some sort of 2-pair, king 10, king jack, ace king, king queen, you know, queen king, queen 10, jack queen, stuff like that. Clubs roll in, we're still betting for tons of value here. Okay, you just check folds, leaves the table. They're double check, yeah, one. Okay, sevens, call. Go ahead and flop the set, check to him. That's full pot. We're just gonna let it cook here. Check call. Okay, we're gonna call bottom pair. Here's 17. Ace queen, ace 10, ace king. I think we just shove here. There's so many 2-pair type hands. Maybe an overplay here. Kind of kill off all the bluffs. Edit position's hard. Like I don't like check call, check call, check call lines. Edit position. You could just end up losing like too much value on the river because people don't value that enough. You can't really donk leads. It's impossible to get somebody to call it most of the time. So, hindsight, I think maybe check raising flop is actually better. It does like have lots of, yeah, I think we should probably just like check call in that spot. Just let the turn and then just check shove river or just check to him on the river. Probably the best play. Check shoving turn just gives him too many outs, so it's probably a mistake there. I mean, it's not like a mistake, like in the sense that you're never doing it. Like you're definitely check raising there some portion of the time, but probably better to check raise flop, bet shove, or just check call, check call, check call for the majority of it. The turn check raise is just too strong on that board specifically, you know. But on the flip side to that, ace queen, ace 10, pocket 10, pocket queens, pocket aces, all are 3-betting, so it's like pretty much saying king jack or sevens, and we're blocking there. He's just gonna look at his hand and decide if he wants to call today or not. That's gonna be pretty much the end of it, right? But I think, yeah, we kind of blew an opportunity to stack him there when he's going that big. It is increase the likelihood that he's going to continue blasting like that out to the river. So probably should just let him. Okay, flip the car. Fold 10-5. But in that case, to get paid on the river, we pretty much want him to be bluffing. He's just not going to shove like ace jack, ace king, ace queen, or bluffing. It's probably the only two hands that he shoves river with, maybe ace 10. Okay, well, you can just have it. Sure, full pot up. Donkey. Fold the jack 10. We're going to 3-bet the 6-5 suited. King 10 we raise. Two face cards, we just bet right here. Do some backdoor equity. Calls again. Just done with the hand. Yeah, we gotta try something small here. Whatever, ace high probably. This guy. So this is one of the few hands we do check back here with some portion of the time. Calls turn. 5-7 gets there. We do have to call this. Jack 10. Not a good bluff at all. Completely pointless. Fold 10-3. He doesn't have anything, so I guess there's that. Side of the coin, but that's like couldn't get any folds. If you're gonna go balls to the wall there, just ship it. Then you might get some folds. Okay, fold the 10-5. Fold queen 3. Fold 9. Okay, pocket jacks, under the gun. Min raises, we 3-bet. Roll max, don't max here. Calls. Ace Queen's a big part of his call range. I think I am going to c-bet here. We're still going to have the best hand a lot. Actually, you might even call just Ace King there some portion of the time. FPL Tony is going to have some amount of queens. That's like this weird check back. We are going to call, of course. Now, if he barrels, we're just going to shove. Or it's super wet. Not much else to do. Well, he's got diamonds, man. Okay, fold the ace 9. Runs it once. Okay, let's hold. Thank you. Okay, raise the ace 3 suited. Raise the 6s. So incorrect flop call, kind of. You know, way too small of a check raise for us to ever fold anything there. Obviously, we'd rather probably, you know, you'd rather call like 9-10 with more equity that way. With jacks, you're just like ahead of its random check raising range too often. King 10, 8-10, spades, stuff like that. You know, 6x. I'm gonna call here if he is high. I think it's fine. Okay, we're gonna value that queen 8. Fold the 7-3. Value bet the queen 8 again. Check the 8-6 of clubs. I think I'm just gonna go for the check raise here. We're gonna raise here with the tens. Fold the 6-7. I think we'll 3-bet use jack offsuit. Okay, it's a good board for us. He had 4-bet, so it makes like queens, kings, aces significantly less likely. So just call it off here. Back it up. The 9 rolls off, which is kind of annoying. Now we're just like chopping. Just shove here. Ah, double chop. 10s and ace jack. That's annoying. Guess GG Poker wanted some cake there. Nine seven suited will open. I'll just fold the deuces here. Good. Okay, check the 4-3. Check the jack 4 suited, queen 9. I make bottom pair here. Nobody's bet. I'm just gonna bet. I think we have the best hand. So if jack or queen, it's gonna bet some portion of the time by the river. That is this guy. So flip a lot. About 7s. Calling gets a lot better when somebody in the big blind isn't 3-betting you. Okay, we just flop another boat or another set. I haven't got paid much though. Fold the 7-4. Okay, we're gonna check raise here. Snap. Of course, keep 7-4. We'll just keep blasting here. It's actually a really good river carry because it makes it way less likely that I have pocket 7s. Come on, man. Put the money in. Probably was chasing clubs or something. Okay, check the 8 deuce. I just turned the 8s into a bit of a bluff here. Fold the king 8, fold the 8 deuce. Okay. Folding the king 9. Fold the king deuce. Okay. King 8 will bump up. Okay, flop trips. Continuation bet here, pretty standard. Fold the 9-6 suited. Fold the jack 6 offsuit. Check the 9-8. Fold the 5-3. Fold the 9-6. Okay, bump up the 8-5 suited on the button here. And we're gonna throw that to the ace king offsuit. Okay. So, I guess we're just putting the money in. Okay, flop another set. No big deal. We're gonna hope one of them has an ace so we can get paid. Good start. Okay. Go half pot again here. Don't need to go any bigger than that. I think if he shoves too, we can probably fold ace king. Ace king off here will raise. Flop top pair, top kicker. Thing is, he's probably got ace king. We're just given stack sizes less than 100 bigs, all that money out there just goes in. Best case, he doesn't have aces. That's really what we're hoping. Kings is fine. Queen ace. So what that means is that we're basically having the queen ace give us odds to call. Even if you flipped over pocket kings, we pretty much have to call ace king there, having the ace. Ace. That's close. Like an ace. Okay, three right here. There's nothing to think about there. That's just like 100% fold. Okay, flop a set of sixes. Call here in position. What's going on with these sets? Everywhere I turn, we're flopping a set. Fold the 9-8. Sucks to get stacked there, but what do you do? Ace queen suited, we just fold now. Alright, well, it's a short stream today. Quick little update. Let's check this out here. Bankroll should be at around 3,400 now. Pretty good day, we were up 250. Ended up 226. Can't complain about that. So make sure if you guys are watching, you hit that subscribe button, you hit that like button. Follow along the channel, check out the other videos. Hope you enjoyed it. This challenge continues. We are going to try to find some time to get on later so we can actually put in some good 5, 6, 7 hour streams instead of just these 1 to 2 hour quickies sort of in the morning.